Coming up tonight on the News at 5, Lewis and Clark County is bringing in new resources to help track and fight the spread of COVID-19. Plus, Cascade County gets a financial boost to help ensure safe and secure elections during the pandemic.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Andy Curtis, and thanks for joining us. Not wasting any time tonight, we're going to start things right off the top of the show with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grebenitz.
Everything but the kitchen sink out there, waiting for that to come flying in here now. But good afternoon, everybody. We've got rain, a few rumbles of thunder, perhaps some mountain snow, and a lot of wind for most of the state. And if you're not looking at the wind just yet, like in the Helena Valley or around Missoula, that wind is coming. A high wind warning for southeastern Montana and a lot of central and western areas. Lake wind advisory, that's for Fort Peck Lake out there. And we've got winter weather advisory for the Little Belts and also up here around the Rocky Mountain front and Glacier National Park. And yeah, look at the couple of lightning strikes right here. You can see those. One also up there by Libby right now. That's with a front that will be moving through here, and that's really going to increase the wind for everybody. So another day with really nasty wind out there, and that wind is only going to get worse through the rest of this evening. Some flaky friends are coming for a visit, and this weekend, yep, it's complicated. More in the forecast coming up.
Well, turning now to our COVID numbers, here's where the state stands as of today. We will likely be crossing the 20,000 total cases mark of COVID-19 in the next 24 hours, more than 7,000 of which are currently active. Current hospitalizations are also very close to reaching 300 individuals, and state and local health officials say that 223 people have died from the virus in Montana. An important note with these numbers, MTN tracks data from both state and local health departments daily to give you the most accurate numbers, so our numbers may vary slightly from Montana's COVID-19 tracking website. And Governor Steve Bullock says he wants to see Montana counties emphasize compliance with local health department orders as a way to address the growing number of COVID-19 cases. Bullock told reporters this afternoon that counties that enforce health orders against, quote, egregious bad actors create a deterrent, and he said some of those counties are currently seeing lower transmission of the virus than other counties of the same size. He announced that the state will provide resources, including legal assistance, to counties that want help in taking action against those who repeatedly violate health guidelines.
I think we can only be successful in beating this virus if we all work together as a team. And our local public health officers certainly need all of us to be on a team right now. Now more than ever, we need to roll up our sleeves, get our hands around this virus.
State health leaders said that there have been a number of documented COVID cases that have been tracked back to events where people were not following health department guidance. And Lewis and Clark County leaders voted to bring a new specialist in to help public health officials analyze data and make decisions about their response to COVID-19. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports.
Lewis and Clark public health leaders say their work depends on having accurate data and a good analysis of what it means.
So not what we sometimes believe is happening, or it feels like something is happening, and then when we look at the data, we say, well, actually what's happening is this, and we know that because we can see the facts.
On Tuesday, the Lewis and Clark County Commission accepted an additional $180,000 in state funding for the next 2 years to pay for hiring a communicable disease epidemiologist to support the local COVID-19 response. They will be responsible for helping public health make more targeted efforts to address the spread of the virus.
They're going to mine out and evaluate the case investigation data, the contact tracing data, the data around what we believe at this point are particular sources of infection, such as like events and that type of thing.
Eric Merchant with Lewis and Clark Public Health says the agency has added dozens of staff to work on things like contact tracing. But with case numbers jumping in the county, it's a challenge even with that added capacity.
We're stressed to the point where even the resources, the surge capacity that we brought in is not enough.
He asked everyone in the community to continue washing hands, social distancing, and the other steps health leaders have been emphasizing.
Practice what you've learned. It's all about personal responsibility.
Merchant said it will take some time to hire an epidemiologist, but they hope to have somebody in the position in the next few months. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
While several counties have announced new restrictions due to rising COVID-19 cases, Lewis and Clark public health leaders say right now they are not planning any additional orders. And for the next couple of weeks, don't be surprised if you see law enforcement on patrol in Conrad who aren't from there. MTN's Coulter Anstadt tells us who's helping keep the town safe and why.
The streets of Conrad are usually pretty quiet, but you never know when something's going to happen. That's why Mayor Wendy Judish called for backup from the Toole County Sheriff's Office, with 2 of the city's 4 full-time police officers currently unable to work because of COVID-19.
I think there's that expectation of law enforcement presence, and that's part of our responsibility, is to keep our citizens safe and to keep my officers safe.
Each day while the 2 officers are out, Toole County Sheriff's deputies will work 10-hour shifts patrolling the city with the city's police officers. The deputies will wear their sheriff's office uniforms and use sheriff's office vehicles, but have been sworn in as city police officers and will be paid time and a half by the city.
The departments are very fluid together.
Conrad Police Department Sergeant Ernest Padilla was on the first shift with the deputy Monday night. He said the night went smoothly.
Basically, we're out continuing operations like we normally do, patrol, and they enhance our operation capacity.
Toole County Sheriff Donna Witt had no hesitation about helping out.
We have worked together for years and we support each other.
Providing support also helps the county. Since the deputies will be working, Witt won't have to worry about them using their days off for something else like vacation and not being available if something were to happen in the county. In Toole County, Coulter Anstadt, MTN News.
And when we come back, well, first of all, we're all probably much more reliant on the internet now, thanks to the pandemic. There's a local opportunity to learn about cybersecurity. VisionNet in Great Falls is hosting a Facebook Live Q&A next week. One question the company has already received is how to know when your network is being attacked. As you may remember, Great Falls Public Schools network was hit with a ransomware attack last month.
We see hundreds of thousands of threats a month across our client base. So it's certainly increasing. It's something that unfortunately everybody should be mindful of.
We're very proud to be giving business that opportunity to build some knowledge.
The Q&A starts at 2 p.m. and we will have a link with more information up on our website. And when we come back, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz will have a complete check of your forecast. And later, this could be a record-breaking year for the total number of voters in the election, which means more volunteers are needed. We'll explain after the break.
Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This poor crabapple tree in Wendy's yard blown over by the wind in Helena. Yeah, some strong wind this yesterday, but there is more wind on the way if you're not seeing the wind here just yet. But Helena, seeing the rain, more rain than we've seen in a few months now. 50 degrees, west wind still 5 miles per hour. This is going to go up. The cold front is still a few hours away, so we may have a couple more hours where we're in a little bubble. Some raindrops near Geyser. In Great Falls, 55 degrees, and there's some of that wind, 21 miles per hour. But again, still have a little ways before a cold front, which is now just pushing up into the extreme northwest part of Montana, before that goes through. Some rain cool there, though, in the western, northern part of the state, a little warmer in the eastern and southern part of the state. And again, the wind not so bad here just yet, except Livingston, 51 mile per hour sustained winds, but the wind will increase for just about everybody here heading through the rest of today. And here it is with the front moving through a little later on tonight. That's really going to change the pressure, and that's what wind is, a change in pressure, change in air moving. And the wind continues through tonight into tomorrow. Maybe a little lighter wind by the afternoon and the evening, but we're still going to be looking at a windy period here on Thursday. for most of the state. Here's a beautiful thing. Look at the fires that I plotted on the radar, and of course the rain and some of the snow that is falling on fires like that Drumming fire, the Yogo fires under a winter weather advisory here. That certainly is good news. You can see it's mainly rain. Snow levels way on up there above about 7,500 feet right now, but that will be coming down with the fronts just right up here. We've had a couple of lightning strikes into northwest Montana. Out to the High Line, Cut Bank through Chester, a little drier. Fort Benton and a lot of Choteau County, Judith Basin County, Fergus County, seeing beautiful, beautiful rain, nice rain, pushing east along the High Line out to around the Glasgow area. And this storm is not over with yet here. It will continue tonight with precipitation, maybe a few rumbles of thunder and some of that mountain snow. Snow levels will be dropping overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, starting out windy, it will end windy, and look how more of the precipitation type is in the form of snow. A little mix of rain and snow, north central Montana, central parts of the state, and through the afternoon and the evening, where some of these bands will set up, there could be an isolated area or two in the lower elevations, picks up 1, 2, maybe 3 inches of snow with a steadier, persistent snow band. Still looking at some snow showers Wednesday night into Thursday. Thursday we will have a little more in the way of sunshine and more of that wind as well. There's the snow forecast, and some very heavy snow up around Glacier and the Bob, and the Mission Mountains could see a couple of feet, and look at that, Kings Hill Pass could end up with about 6 to 12 inches of snow. So for the rest of tonight, very windy with rain showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. Snow levels lowering, and maybe by morning we could have some mixed rain and snow around Nyhart. Certainly some snow up there at Showdown. Also Great Divide here tonight. Helena, some rain showers, and again, maybe a rumble of thunder, and that wind will really ramp up. And for tomorrow, it's a windy one. It's much cooler. Snow off of the Rocky Mountain front. Little mix of rain and snow depending on elevation. The Bear Paw Mountains picking up some snow. The Little Rockies getting some snow. Maybe a little snow north of Glasgow up around Opime, Lewistown. A mix of rain and snow. Snow in the Little Belts and snow down the Continental Divide. A little mix of rain and snow in the Helena Valley for your Wednesday here. Thursday, 52 with another day of wind and a couple of mixed rain and snow showers. Briefly warmer on Friday. A very complicated storm coming through on Saturday with a stalled out frontal boundary that will make the difference between some mixed rain and snow and maybe some heavier snow. And it looks like north central Montana and off the Rocky Mountain front, including Great Falls, maybe a better chance of picking up accumulating snow Saturday, then again Sunday night into Monday.
Well, a potential record-breaking number of people could vote this year, and that has multiple organizations preparing for issues at the ballot box. They want to make sure everyone registered to vote gets a chance to do so. And as Maya Rodriguez tells us, they are looking for volunteers to help ensure that happens.
The constellation of polling places across the country forms the backbone of voting in America. But with about 117,000 polling sites, it doesn't always run smoothly.
Some of them are commonplace situations, folks who may not know what identification they need to vote.
Izzy Bronstein is with Common Cause, one of several organizations banding together for the nonpartisan effort called Protect the Vote, to ensure every vote gets counted in the 2020 election.
There are a number of problems we expect this year.
Among them, confusion over mail-in ballots, early voting dates, whether ballot witnesses are needed, what polling sites are open, and most of all, the potential for voter intimidation, a fear rising on the heels of President Trump saying this to his supporters.
Go into the polls and watch very carefully.
With all of that in mind, Protect the Vote is recruiting thousands of volunteers across the country. 20,000 signed up so far to be on hand at polling sites to answer voter questions and get them to attorneys through a nationwide hotline who can help if a voter runs into trouble casting a ballot.
We know that this is a big election with a lot at stake.
Suzanne Almeida is heading up the effort in the battleground state of Pennsylvania. She's quick to point out that their volunteers are not poll watchers. Those are usually affiliated with a particular candidate. Instead, volunteers with Protect the Vote are called poll monitors and are nonpartisan.
It is even more incumbent on us, particularly wearing our nonpartisan hat, to make sure that the election runs smoothly, because we know that folks are going to be looking carefully at the results in Pennsylvania.
And other battleground states like Florida and Wisconsin, which have seen election-related issues in the past.
It's about making sure that every voter gets their ballot counted and their voice heard in our democracy. And that's really something we can all come together on.
A chance to come together at a time of great division. In Washington, I'm Maya Rodriguez.
Just 21 days before the election, the Cascade County Elections Office will receive a grant to help with the unprecedented operation and budget challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic. During Tuesday's regularly scheduled meeting, county commissioners approved the use of $294,128 in grant money from the Center for Tech and Civic Life to support in the administration of safe and secure elections. Cascade County Clerk Recorder Rena Moore explained that the commission now finds how the commission will be using the funds.
Specific election administrative needs to include election department real estate costs or costs associated with satellite election department offices, nonpartisan voter education, staff, poll, worker, voter, personal protective equipment, polling place rental, and cleaning expenses for early voting or election day.
The money for the grant was donated to the Center for Tech and Civic Life by Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan. And KTVH and MTN have also partnered with ProPublica's Election Land. The Election Land initiative is a coalition of newsrooms from around the U.S. investigating issues related to voting. Now, you can help us by telling us if you experienced or witnessed any problems when you cast your vote. Text the word VOTE to 81380 to sign up or visit our website for more information. You can also submit tips through WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and Twitter. And coming up next on the news at 5, how a Big Sky inspired Facebook page is helping bring Montana culture to the world.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back, everybody. The popularity of one Big Sky country-inspired Facebook page may make it the last best social media site. MTN's Tim McGonigal has more on the online phenomenon known as Montanica.
From t-shirts to hats, bracelets to bumper stickers, if there's an opportunity to promote Montanica, Dana McDonald will do it.
I saw an opportunity to see what I could do on social media. Started it there. We've in the past 2 weeks, we've surpassed 110,000 members.
His Facebook page, which combines the names of Montana and America, began in July of 2017. Dana, who grew up in Montana and moved back after spending nearly 25 years in Phoenix, says the site is guided by a couple of core principles.
We pride ourselves in two things: no politics and no negativity.
He says the page wouldn't be what it is without the contributions of its members.
I mean, the awesome photography and the artwork, the stories, just everything that makes it what it is. It's been a great ride for 3 years now.
Members aren't just limited to Montana. The site has found fans from as far away as the Netherlands, Australia, Germany, and Central America. As a former Army military policeman, Dana says the site is a strong supporter of the Back the Blue movement.
Law enforcement, police officers, first responders in general have a soft spot in my heart. They always have. I like to say that we were supporting the cops when it wasn't cool.
Like many groups, the merchandising side of Montanica took a hit when the pandemic struck, but there are signals it's bouncing back.
It's really kind of cool when I'm driving around and I can see our decals on the backs of cars that, wow, it's like, hey, that's cool.
In Great Falls, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
We'll be back to finish things up here after this.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back, everybody. As we wrap things up here tonight, are you looking for more information on candidates, issues, or voter resources? If so, head on over to ktvh.com/MTN elections. It's right there on the bottom of your screen. There you can find links to 8 different debates with candidates for federal and statewide offices, important dates to remember leading up to the election, and MTN coverage on ballot issues and political spending. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you back here at 6.